Vittorio Bottego. Vittorio Bottego, Italian pronunciation, Parma, July 29, 1860, Daga Roba, March 17, 1897, was an Italian army officer and one of the first Western explorers of Jubaland in the Horn of Africa, now part of Somalia, where he led 2 expeditions. He was an artillery captain in the Italian army. In his first expedition, Bottego concentrated on tracing the channels of the tributaries of the Canale Doria, that he named after the Italian biologist Giacomo Doria. With Captain Matteo Grixoni, Bottego left Bardera on September 30, 1892, with 124 men. They reached the Shebeli River at Emi on 7 November. After 8 days they crossed the river, entering the country of the Arsi Oromo, who proved hostile to Bottego. He passed through Orkbla and reached the Canale Guracha, Black Canale, on 11 December, along whose banks he led his men upstream for 20 days. Concluding that this was not the main stream of the river, Bottego left the river in a west-southwestern direction until he reached the Canale Doria, or the main fork of the Canale, on January 16, 1893. Sick with fever, here Bottego was left by Grixoni, who marched for the coast on 15 February with 30 men. 4 days after Grixoni left, Bottego pushed inland as far as Mount Fakes, but unwilling to encounter raiding parties of the Ethiopians, he returned to the camp where Grixoni had left him. Bottego then crossed the tract separating him from the Dawa, and ascended that river until lack of provisions compelled him to retrace his steps. His party reached the Canale Doria once more after 6 forced marches, in the course of which 11 men died of hunger. 2 more died in camp from exhaustion, and 2 were drowned while hunting hippopotamuses. In his second expedition, 1895 to 1897, Bottego ventured into the then unknown region of the Upper Juba, Lake Rudolph and the Sabat. He was the first European explorer to follow the course of the Lower Omo River to its confluence with Lake Turkana. He reached and first found Lake Abaya, which he renamed Lake Margarita after Queen Margarita of Savoy, wife of King Humbert I of Italy. He then tried to return through Ethiopia, unaware that the country was at war with Italy, let alone that there had been a recent Ethiopian victory at Adwa. He was killed in the Maji range near Jelen when he was attacked by an Oromo tribe. His body was never recovered, and the account of his demise was told years later by 2 of his companions, Vanuteli and Siturni, who survived but were kept in prison for 2 years by Menelik II, Emperor of Ethiopia. Bottego is commemorated in the scientific names of 2 species of lizards, Agama bottegi and Chalcides bottegi. Selected writings.